A player receiving the ball. I need to pause the video immediately there to explain the special circumstances surrounding a player receiving the ball. It states in Rule 9.12 obstruction that a stationary player receiving the ball may be facing in any direction. Why it says stationary is of historical significance, and I won't go into that here. It is implied, but not stated in the rule, that a player receiving the ball in this way is not subject to the obstruction rule. He is excepted from it. The statements that imply something in the rule rather than stating it are a source of anguish amongst those trying to interpret them. Anyway, having accepted that a receiving player is exempt from the rule, we then come on to the situation where the player is no longer the receiving player, but a player in controlled possession of the ball. A player in controlled possession of the ball may move in any direction except into a position between an opponent and the ball, or bodily into an opponent. Moving into a position between an opponent and the ball is the same as maintaining an existing position between an opponent and the ball. That may be considered a matter of interpretation or of fact, but a player who is shunting sideways, as this one is doing, is positioning himself between an opponent and the ball, and is therefore obstructing. We now move to the second phase of this incident, the forcing of ball-body contact. Having beaten the defender by pushing the ball past him from a near stationary position and then accelerating past him, the attacker reaches out with his left-handed stick and drags the ball backwards into the feet of the defender, who is positioned behind him. There can be no thought that this was an accidental contact. It was quite deliberately carried out. Back in 2011, when the forcing rule was deleted, it was deleted because, it was said, any action of this sort could be dealt with under other rules. That brings us back to the problem of implied statements again. If the FIH Rules Committee state, as they did, that any action of this sort, i.e. any forcing action, could be dealt with and would be dealt with under other rules, one must assume, surely, that any such action is an offence and will be penalised, because dealt with can only mean two things: either advantage is applied or that the action is penalised. So here we have an attacker who has committed two deliberate offences quite blatantly and has been awarded a penalty corner for doing so.